is safe to say that the transition to online learning was a difficult undertaking for both students and teachers. Over the last year, everyone in the East community has been feeling the pressure. With a already full-time job of teaching in-person classes, suddenly teaching online was just as necessary. And with all this happening simultaneously, there was not much room for error. Different teachers across the school's various departments have employed an assortment of new strategies to assess if students are genuinely learning while trying to minimize both cheating and technological hurdles.
One way testing has changed is that it's become less frequent, with 70% of teachers saying they test less compared to pre-COVID years.
I've tried some different tests this year and different techniques of testing. I actually have tried to do what I refer to as elevator talks, which are an oral exam, where I ask them a list of topics that I've already given to them, and I choose X topics from there and ask them to tell me everything they know about it.
77% of students believe that there is more cheating now than there was before COVID. Mrs. Kantz is taking a unique approach to minimize this. She's made it a point to test exclusively on Wednesday so that all students have an equal playing field and that they can take the time they need to complete the task.
What's been the most challenging part of testing people and trying to implement a fair environment? It's nigh impossible to ensure fairness right now. One thing I try to really stress with students is the notion of ownership over the knowledge, over the learning. That you cheat, or if you just try to memorize and then spit it back out, you're effectively renting the information, but without owning it.
I think in the beginning I was worried about kids talking to each other during tests, but I don't think that's too big of a problem anymore because I've just been making multiple versions, shuffling questions, so to avoid that. So that also was challenging in the beginning, but now, I think that's pretty hard to do.
67% of students feel less prepared for end-of-year assessments than in other years.
Am I confident that my students are learning as much? As much, perhaps. As well, absolutely not.
Although my grades on paper are higher, I feel as though I have not retained much of the information that I was supposed to learn. Quote Julie Tuflero, grade 12.
The first question you asked was about what's been the most challenging part of testing and trying to implement a fair environment. So the hard part is honestly the knowing whether kids are like using the notes. I can't force no notes because it's almost impossible. How do I know people at home are not using notes? And now I don't know how much we're able to do without looking at those notes, how many formulas we're memorizing.
Testing has overall been somewhat difficult as a hybrid student, as I find that sometimes I retain the information I learn in school more than the information at home. Quote Louis Chevelle, grade 11.
Personally, in some of my classes, for example math, our teachers are allowing us to use our notes, since I'm assuming people are going to cheat at home if they, don't. So I've seen a lack of distrust with teachers, obviously, since cheating is increased from what I've, personally seen or from what I've heard.
Although students and teachers' feelings vary about testing during COVID, there seems to be an agreement that there's more cheating and less people prepared for end-of-year exams. To move forward, teachers are trying their best by changing their testing policies and encouraging honesty. While it may be hard to ensure a beneficial and fair testing environment, changing the testing days and type of tests have helped teachers ensure that students are learning and retaining information.